What's up? Good morning, guys. Sorry about that little wait there. I had to get everything all situated and set. So, you already know what it is. Anyway, guys, happy Tuesday. It's going to be a good day today. I feel pretty good about some trades. We're going to make some trades. So, if you guys are looking to get some practice in before Mo goes live, he's going to be going live at 2 p.m. As you guys know, hold on, let me turn that off here real quick. Boom, no volume. All right, cool. Um, Mo's going to be going live a little bit later today for everybody in the Discord. Um, so come get some practice in doing some paper trading here today. You know what I'm going to be doing. We're going to run down the list, but first things first, if you guys haven't already, definitely sign up with the lifetime membership. You'll get your own little plaque. Look how shiny this thing is right now. This thing's shiny. You'll get your own plaque custom made by me. I made this myself. And if you sign up using the lifetime membership, you yourself will get one of these little bad boys. They're pretty cool. I think Code Freedom is going on for the rest of this week. So if you guys have any type of questions or anything like that, in the third link in the description in this video, you can book an appointment with me. So you can sign up. Well, not sign up, but you can just book an appointment. We can have a one-on-one conversation, go over any questions, comments, concerns, or anything that you guys got going on. We have lots and lots of great tools here in the Discord, as well as you'll get some one-on-one time with me, and you'll get that once a week for your first month signing up for the lifetime membership. So definitely take advantage of that. It's something that I provide value. I'm trying to give a value back to you guys and give you guys a little something back for, taking that kind of leap. So sign up with the lifetime membership. Highly recommend it. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. Anyway, let's jump right into it, guys. I'm not going to be looking at that currently right now. I know we're looking at that chart, but you got to come over here to the fear and greed index. Look, guys, we've been stuck in this fear for a little while now. It's still pretty fearful, but the market's still ticking up, which leads me to believe that buyers are still buying, guys. It's not as fearful as we think it is right now. So let's kind of just look at the overall market volatility. VIX is up. VIX is sitting at the 17. All right, so some good volatility today. That's what I like to see. Puts, looks like calls are still it, man. We're still ticking higher. We had that little dip right here. We're still having that little rip. Still extreme fear. We've just been consolidating sideways, it looks like, for stock price strength. 7 fear and greed index indicators. Yeah, we're still rocking. We're still above the 125-day moving average. We dipped a little bit under, rocketed back up. It looks like we might come down and test it again, probably in the near future. Let's get rid of that. Hold on one second. How's the coffee this morning? Blurple? It's great. Hold on. All right. All right. All right, so we're going to look at the daily here really quick. Let's check out the daily, and then we're going to check out the Mag 7. We're going to check out their couple of their tickers. So we're going to be looking at Microsoft, Meta, Apple, Avago, Nvidia, all that other good stuff. All right, so as you guys know, we came up. Looks like we got that top right here. If you guys were in my live streams, you guys already know where I put this little line right here. We based this off of these couple of candles right here. Well, mainly these two. And then possible rejection right here too as well. Boom. So right here, and slightly a little bit above, but obviously it didn't peak above. So kind of based it right here, and I just made it flat because we did peak out right above. And then you can see that little small double top kind of ish rejection right here. And then we got that nice good push back down, kind of what we were looking at a couple of days ago. So if we come over here to the 15-minute, which that's what I like to trade on, You can see on the TA over here that I made the other day. Boom. I was expecting this to break back up, possibly fill this gap. It didn't fill the gap, but I put a line here anyway. Um, Almost. Still leaves this little sliver over here. If you guys were in Fronton's live yesterday, this is what I was talking about. We're leaving this little sliver. It's only like 10 cents, literally about 10 cents of a gap here. Doesn't matter. It's still a gap. It's still there. That means that they're still buying. There's still people up over here accumulating. I'm sure we'll see that in the option statistics here. And then this is what I was looking at too for a double bottom. I'm going to get rid of this, but it also acted as a resistance right here. So this double bottom right here could act as another resistance, and this could be a zone right here. In between these two lines right here, this could be a zone. We're just going to have to kind of wait and see. I'm going to get rid of this blue line right here because I don't need it anymore. Also, there's still another gap down here below at 749.02. You can clearly see here. Let's just clean this little bread bot up right here real quick. You can clearly see after we had pre-market, or sorry, after hours going into pre-market. You can see we wicked all the way down here, leaving this nice fat gap from 749 to 745, 746-ish area. And you can see that we've been trying to get that back, and we just keep getting rejected back down. Big wick up, another rejection. Big wick up, another rejection. And it looks like we created another gap down here below, which, you know me, it's kind of crazy. Here, actually, let's delete this here real quick. Let's pull out the crayons. All right. Boom. So lots of volatility in the market. And this is a lot of the stuff that you guys aren't going to be seeing, that you guys aren't going to be really kind of seeing unless if you guys know what you guys are looking for. If you guys don't have the after hours or the pre-market on, I highly recommend it. I always use them as reference all the time. It definitely gives good points of entry and kind of good levels to kind of look at. So you can clearly see right here, we've been stuck in this channel. We've been just consolidating for like days right here, in and out of this channel multiple times. But you can see this consolidation right here, and then you finally get that breakdown. And it looks like we're going to head lower. It looks like you had a little fake out this morning. We're probably going to come down here. Here, where's my other, pull out a little arrow. We'll probably fill this gap at some point, and then we'll probably come back up over here. Retest this zone. More than likely, probably fill that gap. So I'm going to leave those little arrows right there for future reference. Okay, let's turn the bread bot back on. Just kind of look at the EMAs overall in general. Yeah, so we're currently sitting at the 50 EMA on the 15. This is the 15-minute, guys. Remember, the 15-minute. Looks like we're sitting right here on the EMA. I don't expect a bounce right here. I think we're going to fall through, honestly, and probably fill this down here below. So be on the lookout for that. Looks like we closed this gap yesterday. Remember, if you guys were in my channel in the Discord and the Trading Labs, if you guys don't know, here, I'll just bring this up really quick. So if you guys don't know, I'm just going to show you here. Boom. This is what we were talking about yesterday. I did a little recap. So this is the screenshot that I took this morning, or that morning, right? About maybe 30-45 minutes after open. Maybe an hour. What is it? 15? Yeah, about an hour after open. I was like, look, we got a gap down right here. I put the line. I did a little analysis also right here. You can see that there's still that gap up right here at 749. So it looks like we're kind of in that channel. And you can see periodically through the day that, you know, what I was looking at and what I was talking about, saying technically, I think that we're going to probably come down, fill this gap, but we have to have the 5 and the 13 cross the 50. which they almost did. The 5 did cross. It kind of came a little bit lower and then it bounced back. I'll show you in this photo, in this next photo right here. Boom, it came down right here, bounced back, right? You had the 5 come over. We just didn't have the 13 cross. Came back up. This area right here was an area of rejection. If you look over here, boom, same thing right here. Basically like a triple or whatever kind of top. I mean, honestly, these wicks are crazy. So whatever kind of top, and then you have that rejection coming back under with the 5 crossing the 13 again, and the 13 looking to cross the 50. Got that rejection, boom, it hit that right here. You can see it played back out, it came down, bounced back, because obviously this is an area of support right here. You can see it bounced right here for the support, bounced again right here, and then obviously you have this huge wick up right here too as well, making it an area of support. Came and touched the 50, rejected, and then filled that gap, and then I think it closed a little bit lower underneath. So guys, look out for some of those things. I do those technicals analysis for you guys too as well, what I'm looking at. They don't always play out, but a majority of the time the technicals are pretty fire. Honestly, my technicals aren't too bad. So let's just look at the 1 minute here. I think there's, yeah, if we just look at the 1 minute, it looks like it's actually lower than this gap right here. Let's just turn this off real quick. Yeah, we could go slightly lower than this actually. There are a couple of these little minor little fracks. We could possibly go to 741. So I think I'm just going to draw a line right here. Just draw that, just keep that right there, just to keep that in mind. I don't want to be second guessing. And it's kind of crazy because both these gaps right here are pretty much level, just slightly under, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to keep this just as a point of reference. This could also be a double bottom. You see this little bottom over here too as well in the minute. This could be that sell off. We could get that more of a sell and then a possible bounce right here. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Keep that in mind. What were we going to look at? We're going to look at all these guys over here. So we're going to look at Microsoft next. You know how I like to do it. I want to go across the board. I haven't done this, I think, in like 2-ish weeks. So let's see what my levels are saying here. All right, so it looks like we did fill this gap. We got multiple gaps here. So yeah, I haven't done this since April. No way. It had to be just a couple of weeks ago. Maybe I did it in June. Well, it had to been, yeah, it had to been sometime in June then, because this gap wasn't filled yet. So it had to be somewhere over here. I don't remember, but we did some charting over here, obviously. So as you can clearly see, huge gap over here. That's why you have this big old double top right here. Boom, fell off. Fell off. It looks like I did some gap analysis over here. Got multiple gaps up here on the daily from 748, 504, well, basically 505, 536. And it looks like, I can't tell if this is I can't tell if this is forming into a W pattern or if this is head and shoulders. Really hard to tell. It's hard to look at some patterns sometimes because it doesn't always give you the whole picture. Anyway, so it looks like we still have this gap to fill up to 748. It looks like it really tried. It looks like we created another one up right here, which I'm going to draw all these lines out. It looks messy, but honestly, this is the best kind of way to just look at key levels, look at things that if they make violent moves or something like that, you're not surprised. Or if you see the stock going in a certain direction, you're not like, why is it going this way? Why is it? Well, there's orders accumulating right there in that gap. So normally when you see a gap, this is normally where a lot of people set pre-market orders or pre-orders or set buy limits in there, and they have them accumulating right here in this zone over a period of time. So when it gets to these areas, you either see a big rip up or a big rip down, or consolidation, because then it's a bull and a bear fight. But normally it always leads and drags into those gaps. More than likely. It looks like you have some relative strength right here. Possible, like, yeah, dude, like I said, possible head and shoulders here forming. Or a W, an ugly W. It's really hard to tell. So it looks like we're going to be probably accumulating in these zones. Let's look at the bread bot real quick, see where we are. Yeah, it looks like you got the 5 just crossing the 50 here, which means that we could get some relative strength. Yeah, all right. So this, I can get rid of this line right here. Let's get rid of that. That gap has been closed right here up to right here. Yeah. Which means that I should put another line right here. I don't want to be surprised. All right. Gap, gap, gap. 3 gaps. So what I think is going to happen with Microsoft right here, I think we're just going to continue higher, bro. I think we're going to lead up to the up over here. I'm going to give this out a little bit. Maybe we consolidate a little bit. Or we possibly reject around this area around 432. We come up, possible rejection. Honestly, I don't think that's what's going to happen. So price prediction, 460-ish area is where I think we're going to go. And we'll see. We'll see in the next, I don't know, next time we check out this. What else? What did Microsoft? Let's look at Apple here really quick. Apple's just going strong. Look at this strong run, dude. Ever since April of last year to August, this whole consolidation right here just ripped it up higher. Small double bottom right here. Boom, boom. Lift off. Let's get rid of the bread bot here real quick. Let's just kind of look at the candles overall. Boom, boom. Yeah, Apple's going in strong. Looks like you're just having that slight relief. Very, very small gap. Okay. All right, so there's like 2 of them actually. One right here, which is very tiny. And then another one right here, boom. Which we'll probably head to, which is what number is this? 316? 316.04, all right, boom. A little small gap right there on the daily, little small gap right here, 296. All right, boom. Yeah, all right. Closed. Still open a little. Okay, let's look at the bread recipe here. Yeah, so this is pretty simple to me, honestly. Little small breakdown. We could possibly have a bounce right here off the 13. I'm going to give a bullish and a bearish take on this. These gaps are so small down here. Sometimes when you have a really tight gap and stuff like that, it doesn't always go there. The bigger the gap, the more pull it kind of has towards it. The smaller the gap, not really so much, because there isn't very much room for buyers and sellers. They're not really too worried about those very small, teeny tiny gaps. The bigger, the better, as they like to say, if you catch my drift. Anyway. Anyway, so yeah, so it looks like this is going to come down, possibly test the 13, probably rebound back up a little bit before it goes back down. So I'm just going to do a little arrow here, and then possibly another little arrow, yeah, down over here. So we might come back up, come back down, come right here, bounce off of this 316, and then possibly head a little bit lower to probably test the 50, and it might bounce off of the 50 right here, but I wouldn't be surprised if the wick just kind of wicked down really quick and then it gets brought back up. So I'm going to be on the lookout for that. So we're bullish on Microsoft, slightly bearish on Apple. Apple kind of does its own thing in the market. It's really hard to even to even try to assume where what Apple's doing or where it's going. All right, so it looks like I might have been wrong on this technical. Okay, well, it looks like we filled this gap right here. Boom. Still got a few more, a little bit low. Well, just one more lower. Is that it? Oh, no, I mean, there's just a couple of small ones down here too. Oh, well, not really worried about the long term there. Just looking at the short term. All right, so I guess this is a little wrong. I thought we were going to come back up and test. Well, this is a good example of just learning in general right here, that it doesn't always do what you think it will. So I thought this was going to come back up and test the 221.50-ish area for a possible rejection back down. It looks like it just continued to come back down and fill this little gap down here at 189. And then it looked like it kind of double bottomed right here to lead it back up to fill this other little gap. You see this, how this created a gap right here. Jeez, my throat's a little dry. Created this little gap right here, filled it, obviously, so I can get rid of these two lines again. Well, maybe. Do I want to do that? I don't think I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. Just gonna get rid of the one here, the top one, because it looks like this is possibly a resistance area. A little resistance, a little resistance, a little bounce, a little resistance, a little resistance, resistance, closed under. I'll keep that one. Remember, guys, I use generalities when I'm using my charting. I don't use exact numbers, okay? I just put the numbers on there to kind of look at the area if it's getting close. So that way I'm not lost, or I don't have to look all the way over here on the right side. I can just look right here. Okay, here's the numbers. So I just look for generalities and general areas, zones. I look for zones. I play zone coverage, guys, when I'm trading. All right, so let's turn the bread bot back on here really quick. So I thought right here too as well, this is a good example of trying to preemptively buy. Well, not preemptively. I don't think I bought anything for Nvidia on this, honestly, but what my thought process was happening here is, you see this 5 kind of curling right here under above the 50. You see the bounce here on the 5 and the bounce here again. I was thinking, oh, we're going to bounce here again and then head back up and then have the 5 cross the 13. It just didn't play out that way. It ended up just selling off and creating another big gap down right here, which it filled, obviously, like 2 weeks later. So that's a way that you can look at charts too as well, that they can kind of not be deceptive, but just not play out in your favor, right? We can only do so much with the tools that we have, but this is a good example of where we thought, well, me personally, thinking, oh, we're going to have a bullish case here. Nope. Instant reversal right here. Boom, rejection right here off the 13. Brought us back down. So be careful when you're trading the EMAs too as well, because these things happen all the time. A fake out, you know what I mean? Bull trap. I got trapped. If I would have played that, I would have been trapped right there. So just be on the lookout for that, okay? Whenever you're trading and looking at EMAs. Just because it looks like it's going to do something doesn't mean it will. But this is looking pretty good. This gap got filled. Boom. We're probably going to head back up. I don't know. This is a toughie here, guys. This is a toughie. If this breaks under, I expect it to go down here. 184. So that's what I'm going to assume. I think we probably had a little bit lower. Let's see if that's what's going to happen. Also, too, when you see the EMAs curling like this could easily bounce right here and head higher. Easily, very easily. I see this happen all the time quite regularly where the EMAs get like really close like this, and then you just see it open back up and just rip higher. But normally too as well, normally when I see this too, I see it more to the downside because we are right at the 50 and the EMAs are right there and really close, which normally means, well, more times than not, you'll see them cross and then you'll see it bleed back down. So I'm going to take the bearish take on that one. Let's see if this will play out. As much as I want this to rip higher, realistically, she looks bearish to me. She looks bearish. You got the EMA bullish indicator with the 13 crossing. It just looks like you just got rejected right here in this zone of resistance. You can see that the resistance started right over here too as well. You see my dotted line right there, right across. So this wick right here, boom, couple of candles closed under and tested right here. Same thing right here, big rejection down. Same thing right here, rejected down and created this gap right here. Boom, hit the same area right here, right? This is why I play areas and I don't play exact lines, okay? Because you just have that little leniency, a couple of cents here and there. And then we clearly see it rejected right here, came a little bit lower. But this candle right here, this indecision candle, this guy kind of looks like exactly that, indecision. Looks like it wants to head higher. This one did close under the 50, but this one's a little iffy. We did close and open up. So yeah, that's why I said this could easily curl back up. That's for NVIDIA. Now let's look at Meta. One of my favorites. I love Meta. Meta is really great. Great stock to trade back and forth. I'm looking kind of messy. You can clearly see I've been charting this thing for a while. Looks kind of crazy when you looks kind of crazy when I got all the EMAs in here. Yeah, okay, so I see what I did here. Looks like I was thinking that this thing is going to bleed all the way down to 506. It just didn't. We just ended up not even filling this gap right here. What do I even have this line over here for? 5. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of one more line. It looks like we filled this gap over here clearly. My lines are off, it looks like. Why are my lines off? Maybe I broke this down on a 1 minute chart and the daily is just not there. I'll clean this up here in a little bit. Yeah, we still created multiple gaps down. This gap hasn't filled at 539.19. We have another one right here. And this is why also too, guys, I look at the fear and greed index. You probably already answered this already on a previous stream. But are you using StockMo's same indicators? That's right, Dash. This is Mo's Bread Bot. You can see right up over here on the top left right here, Dash. Mo's Bread recipe. Bink. Turn that bad boy on. There it is. I just turned it off because it looks cleaner and you can see where the gaps are and it's more visually, you guys can visually see it better. I already understand what I'm looking at, obviously, so because I'm the one who charted it, right? Yeah, so I use Mo's Bread recipe. This is Mo's indicator, obviously. This is his own script. He created this script, so sometimes it's hard to see on a tiny screen. Yeah, that's why I turn it off and I turn it on. I turn it off to do the charts like this so you can see them naked. And then I turn it on for points of reference, obviously. Because as soon as you turn it on, you can clearly see what the candles are doing. And then when you turn it off, see how she's like, the EMAs just sit perfectly with these candles. They just look so good. Anyway, so I'm going to type in right here, 565.54, boom. Just keep that as a point of reference. We do have a little tiny gap up right here. And this is what I was talking about earlier. This is why I look at the fear and greed index, because you see the volatility and you see how many gaps are created lately in this past month, literally in these past couple months. We just been in fear, right? And this is why we're seeing this crazy swing and the crazy volatility in the amount of gaps that we have. I haven't really seen this many in a very long time. I mean, look at all these. Here, 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 here. Right here, right over here, right over here, right over here, right over here. I mean, on multiple different charts here. I mean, you guys see it. I mean, you guys are looking at it just like I am right now. All right, so let's turn the bread bot back on. Let's kind of see where we are. Looks like we are battling the 13. We had the cross up over here. Looks like it built all the way up. Hit this point of resistance right here for a double top. You see right here. Boom. Boom. We're having that rejection. We did break out the Bollinger Band, and you know what that means. Every time we get a BB over bot, looks like we're going to be testing the EMA. We tested the 5. We bounced back up. Rejected again right here off of this area of resistance. Came back all the way down to the 13, and that's where we're kind of sitting right now. I would expect us, and also too as well, we closed this gap right here. Gap was created up, took like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 days, so about a week of trading. 5 trading days, which is a normal week of trading, Monday through Friday. Closed that, came a little bit under, right? Bounced back up on the 13. We closed red. All 3 of these are red, which leads me to believe we'll probably have another 13 test, but this 5 EMA is kind of curling a little bit. You see how it's got kind of just a little bit? I think we'll probably close this gap and then head back down. So let me just do a little small arrow here. And then I'm going to do another arrow down right here. All right, let's just see if that plays out. No guarantees, obviously, but we'll see. And then also too, if this does bounce back up, because we are right here at the 13, and if this does curl up, we could probably see this head a little bit higher, obviously, and then test this area of resistance, right, before heading back down. We're just gonna kind of have to see. Personally, I think we're gonna head a little bit lower. So overall in the market, I think we're gonna head lower. Let's look at Broadcom real quick, and then we're gonna do some trading. Or actually, guys, you guys got anything you want me to look at really quick? Any tickers, any symbols, anything like that? Put them in the comments. I'll take a look right before we get into trading. Broadcom, we still have this gap down here below. It doesn't look like we're gonna get it. Looks like we filled this little small gap. I haven't looked at this in a little while, looks like we filled this gap over here. And it looks like we're testing the 50 on this EMA. We do have this huge gap up over here. Jeez. Market's crazy, dude. I haven't done a thing like this in a while, I feel like. All right, boom. Gap. Oh my gosh, dude, this is crazy. Looks like we can't beat the 50. Rejection, 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 another rejection, rejection, rejection. This could be the moment where it actually breaks out. Look at the Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands are squeezing real tight here. So we're about to see a move either up or down. I can't call this one. Normally when we see a consolidation right here around the 50, I normally see it head higher. But this one's iffy. We have multiple gaps down. I have a gap down here, gap down over there. AMC, you want me to look at AMC? Oh man. Meme stocks. All right, yeah, let's look at AMC. Let's just, yeah, look at the sell-off that I had too as well. Just nasty, dude, nasty. I don't even know what to call this, honestly. I don't really look at penny stocks like this. I gotta look at the weekly on this. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, COVID. Ever since COVID. 406. Imagine buying up here, 406, and then it going to fucking 90 cents. All right, weekly. We're hitting that resistance right up over here, man. So around 310, you have a resistance area right here. So be on the lookout for that. Same thing around 358. Yeah, 358 to 310. Looks like you have that resistance. You broke the Bollinger Band, which means the bulls are trying to step in after being oversold. You see how oversold we are? You got that rip up, came down, tested the EMAs. The 5 tested the 13. Looks like you had that bounce, and now you're having some volatility. Honestly, I couldn't call this either way. You had the 5 bounce off the 13, which means you could have some strength here, but the 50 is a good resistance or support area. So beat that. Look for the 5 crossing the 13 on the weekly. That's on the weekly, so pay attention. That's a couple trading days. It's a different story when you break it down on the daily. Yeah. You still have a gap that you're still trying to close to 273. Bollinger Band's been broke. You can see that it's squeezing up right here. You're going to be coming down and testing the 5 right here. So be on the lookout for that. SanDisk, all right. SNDK, let's look here. Boom. Man, what a run. This thing hasn't broke the 50 and dude, since I can't even say a long time, it looks like. Since like August of 25, haven't broke the 50 under. So this looks a little dangerous here. So if this momentum is going to stay true to its trend line, I would expect this to come back up. This looks a little dangerous though, because you do have the 13 right there on the 50. But as you guys saw in my SPY chart that I posted, the 5 could come down and curl back up, right? So the 13 and the 50, when you're playing the EMAs, these things normally bounce off each other. They don't always cross and commit. You normally see that little small bounce there. So I would be looking, if this trend stays true, which is this is the first time it broke the 50 in a while, I would expect this to kind of head back up. In my personal opinion, I would expect this to head up. But this is a 50-50 shot here. I don't know if this is going to be the turning point of where it starts to alleviate that buying pressure. So this could be the turning point to where it does actually turn down. But I'm gonna take a stance on a bullish take here, because like I said, you haven't really lost a 50 here. Bounce, nowhere close. Hasn't touched anywhere near close at all. Same thing down here too as well. My personal opinion, I think we bounce here. There's no key levels that I would be looking for here. This could be that bottom right here. You see these, how these bounced off the 13? This could be a bottom right here for it. Remember, I play zones, so this could be that little double bottom to where you kind of see it head higher. But man, SanDisk, what a run, bro. Huge run. I mean, look at this thing. If you got in September, you got this thing at $50. September 11th or 9th or whenever, sometime in September, at $50, bro. You're the peak. If you bought in at $55 a share, is 2,355. What a run, dude. Unbelievable amount of gains, honestly, if you guys played that. We got another one here. Did a couple calls on AMC, did good. However, now it seems to be coming down. Yeah, AMC, dude, I just wouldn't touch it. I haven't touched it since COVID, so crazy. Yeah, it's Mo's bread recipe. Yeah, LOL, it's messed up. Yeah, it is a messed up chart. Yeah. All right, guys, let's jump into SPY. You know what we're doing here. Let's get some trades in. Let me look at the 15-minute. All right, so it looks like we did bounce off the 50. Looks like we are kind of at an indecision. The 5 is looking possibly to cross the 13. Remember, guys, when you're still, this is still technically a bullish stance because the EMAs and the candles are still above the 50. So, technically, on a technical standpoint, we are still bullish. Me, I think I'm going to be bearish. I don't. This is a toughie for me, honestly. Because look, guys, I mean, we're still sitting. If you guys remember what I charted out in the beginning on the daily here, remember we still have this little gap up above right here at like 748, 75-ish area. But we do have a gap down right here, and we are literally sitting right here in the middle of the channel. You see this? Literally like in the middle. Let's see if this stays true here. I'm going to put this right here and just see, possibly see. Now we got that 5 crossing the 13 here. We could carry above on the 15 minute. This is a dicey call here. We might want to rip the calls here. Let's go to SPY here. Boom. SPY on the 1 minute. These are the 5 minute charts. Remember, I have the 5 minute charts down here. Okay. All right. Apple looks bullish. Nvidia looks bearish. Microsoft looks bullish. Avago looks bullish. Meta is, I don't know what Meta is doing. Indecision. If this is a bullish case right here, I think it's very short-lived. Here's that push up. We're getting that push up right here. All right, so it looks like we're possibly getting that rebound off of the 50 here. Remember, the 50 is a good bullish or bearish, good support or resistance area. So let's see if we can get a trade in here. Let's look at the option statistics here. All right, calls. See, calls are only sitting at 879,000. Geez, I don't know why I could not read that for a second. And then we got puts sitting at 1.14 million. So that's a good, decent amount of a difference here. Where are we currently sitting? 745. So it looks like the bears are still in it for the 745. But if it gets to 746, it looks like it's going to rip a little higher to 747. So key areas. Oh, it looks like you just got that rejection right here. Missed it. I should have played that put of what I was thinking. It's too busy chit-chatting about options. But man, what a sell-off right here. Let's look at the chart here. Yeah, boom. All right. See, yep, I'm on the bearish side. I think we're going to 742. Let's see. I don't want to jump in. Man, dude, do I want to do it, bro? I just feel like I'm going to get this bounce back up here and I'm going to get destroyed. All right, I'm going for it. We're going for it. We're going in 10 right here. You got that 5 crossing the 50 over here. Let's see if we can get in here. I'm going to have to, well, hold on. All right, we're going market order. Market order. Boom. All right, we're going in. This could easily rebound back up here, guys. I could get smoked. Let's go back down to the 1 minute here. And we're at the 50 here. And we're at the 50. Remember, like I said, 50 is a support or a resistance. This could easily just bounce and head higher. I could easily get destroyed on this. Let's go to the 1 minute. That's what I was doing. Also, too, this looks like an area of support. You see how these candles are pushing up right here, too, as well. You see how these wicks, these little wicks right here, pushed up, even though these two are red. This middle one's green. This engulfing candle that's green means it's a support area. Same thing over here. Big push up right here. 1, 2. Those are 2 big green candles. Yeah, man, I might get bullied on this one. This could possibly come up, touch the 50 for a test here. Remember, guys, too, as well, just because the 5 crossed the 50 doesn't mean that this won't curl back around. The 13 hasn't crossed yet. Remember, this could This 13 could bounce off the 50. I'm pretty sure yeah, I just got smoked. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm out. I'll take that 260 loss on that. I was really hoping that 5 was going to cross right there. It just didn't happen. You see those EMAs right there, how they just bounced? I was playing this 5 cross in the 50, just didn't play out in my favor. Look at this huge candle. Also, too, like I said, this area right here was a support, so I was already kind of weary. But it was worth taking a shot. We did get the EMA RSI bearish indicator too as well, so not necessarily a bad look. Just like I said, just didn't play out. It happens. Take a small loss on that. All right, let's go back up over here. I'm going to draw a little line right here for a possible possible area of resistance. I'm going to look at 2 little areas right here. Let's thicken this up. All right, cool. We did kind of touch the Bollinger Band right here for a little breaking. It does still look like it wants to continue higher. If this comes down and tests the 5, I think I might rip a call here. So I'm going to get that lined up right here. I'm going to line up the calls. What's the RSI looking at? RSI is at 61. Just looking for an EMA test. Remember, this is a possible area of resistance here too as well. So this could easily reject. I'm still looking at calls. We have relative strength right here. RSI is not too bad. I might risk it. I don't want to go in too early and get burned here. You know, sometimes you just got to be a little patient. Man, it's hot right now, bro. I'm sweating again. All right, here we go. Boom, here's the push. All right, I'm in. Let's see if we get a bounce here. Looking for the bounce. I'm just going to get ready with my market order to sell. Oof, doesn't look like it. It's the waiting game. Looks like she's curling back down. Might have been a fake out here. Man. Looks like I should have played that put right here. No, okay. There it is. There it is. I guess I should have just played the 13 and not the 5, huh? Let's see if she'll still climb up over here. All right, we're going to get ready to sell here, guys. biggest thing right here is that we got to beat this guy up here. Well, technically we got to beat this new the previous high of this wick, so 746.18. That's what we're going to be looking for. So I had the right idea, just played it a little early, right? I should have played the 13. Obviously, the 13 is the stronger out of the two. Obviously, the 5 is the 5-day moving average. The 13 is the 13-day moving average. Here we go. All right, looks like we're just shy at break even. Obviously, I got a terrible price. Let's see if we can get this one here, y'all. When's the next candle? 12 seconds. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, I'm just looking for a quick win on this one. Actually, I think I'm going to queue up. I'm going to queue up a close price. I'm only going to look for a couple of cents. I'm going to go 130. I'm only looking for a 5-cent move here. Hopefully this doesn't reject right here. Hopefully this stays high. That might have been the exit right here. We'll see. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Remember, I'm only looking for a 5-cent move up from my position. I might not even get it, honestly. It doesn't look like it. It looks like it's about to head back down, honestly. 6 seconds until next candle. This next candle is going to be very telling. It's literally just a waiting game sometimes, honestly. All right, there we go. Boom, we're out. All right, made a little bit back. Nothing too crazy. Just a couple of cents there. All right, looks like the call was the move. We're right here at that resistance area. Here comes that second one. EMA is fanning out here. I think I'm going to go with the put right up over here. I think I'm going to play the puts here. Let's get this lined up here real quick. I got my puts lined up. I'm looking for it to come up and tap right up over here. Well, this general area. Still have good relative strength. MACD looks pretty good. MACD looks fine. RSI at 63. I'm looking for this double top right here. Yo, did you guys watch the World Cup, bro? I watched the Spain, bro. Spain destroyed Argentina. Man, it was such a good game. I loved it. It's so fun. One of the better games that I've seen. Honestly, their passing, Spain's passing, top tier, bro, unmatched. It was crazy. I heard a stat somewhere saying they had 6 touches, like 36 times, where you pass it to a player not each player, but an individual player 6 times. Like 38 of them, 36, 38 of them. Man, crazy, dude, crazy. Sports, man, I love it. All right, looks like I'm about to get in. I'm about to try it here. There's no guarantees. This is real dicey here because this is some relative strength here. RSI's reaching 66. We're right here almost at my yellow line, so not a bad area to look for. All right, I'm about to do it. I'm about to do it. All right, I'm doing it. This is extremely dangerous here. I'm playing this based off of the RSI and this previous resistance and rejection right here off of this candle. Let's see if we can come back down and test the 13 here again real quick. I'm going to have this open right here for a market sell. All right. Looking for a 13 test or even a 5 test. I'll take a 5 test. I'll get out at a 5 test. It looks like there's only 2 to 3 seconds of lag. Interesting. For mine, yeah, probably. I tweak my settings really often. I really try to bring you guys the best speed possible, upload speed possible. All right, I'm out right here. Was I negative on that? I think I was negative on that. They said I was up, so I got out. Anyway, paper trading is a little weird sometimes. Anyway, it did what I wanted it to, though. I got out right here. We probably still had a little bit lower, but I'm not taking a chance on relative strength. We did have the RSI slightly cool off. But yeah, so I do try to bring my upload speeds as fast as possible. Honestly, I do a bunch of tweaking. I got on NVIDIA. The computer that I'm using currently right now too as well is fairly decent, honestly. I have a good CPU and a good GPU on this laptop. It's a gaming laptop. Is it just me, or is it weird with tariffs, escalating war, that everything is some reason bullish? No, honestly not. I mean, bro, never bet against America. Just my opinion. Never bet against the Americans. We'll prove everybody wrong out of spite. For the love of the game. That's what we'll do it for. Honestly, I think the market makers don't even really care too much. This war has been going on for a little while. Trump's already investigating about the oil prices. He's like, why isn't gas coming down? I don't know if you guys been following the White House lately, but he has an investigation into the oil companies of why prices aren't going down at the gas pump. As well as the escalation with the tariff situation. We already knew that this was already going to happen. He's raising it from well, he already talked about it before, like previously when he said, when he first did it, when he first did the 10%, he's like, maybe we'll do 15, maybe we'll do 20. So to me, he pretty much gauged that and he said, screw it, we'll do like 12. So I don't know. Tariff situation, not really worried about it, honestly. And I'm pretty sure it really depends on which countries he's tariffing. I'm sure it's a bunch of other countries that are not bringing much value into our import and export distribution. So, and honestly, I mean, if you guys have been watching too as well, his negotiations and what he's been saying about, Iran, and instead of, I don't know if you guys watch snippets of something, but me, when I watch something, I have to watch it in full. I don't watch anything partial. If somebody's saying something and it's important news, I literally will watch the whole hour-long clip. If it's an hour long, I won't watch any snippets. I won't watch any news takeaways. I don't watch broadcasters talk about their opinions of what they think it is. I got to hear it right out of the horse's mouth and base my own judgment off of that and what they're saying and what the meaning is behind that and who's there, right? And who's doing what, who's asking questions about what. And most of the time when people ask questions, they're stupid questions, honestly. Some of these reporters are just dumb. But yeah, I watch everything in full because I hate having things taken out of context. Or, I read an article about something and it's like, dude, it's too opinionated. I honestly, I hate it all. I hate it all. Um, so I don't really pay attention to that. I'm going into a put right here. I'm going into a put. It looks like we're going to come back down. Looking for a 50 test, possible VWAP test right here. Reject. All right, what's my average price here? I'm only looking for a couple. 130. We'll do 150. We're gonna sell at 150. But yeah, so like anything when it's any big news or anything like that, you know me. Like I said, I gotta check out the White House page. I gotta listen to what everybody's saying in full. Um, Too many people get their opinions swayed by somebody else's opinion about something, and I just try to dial in the facts, bro. Dial in the numbers. So you know what I mean. He's just saying tariffs on random countries and trying to stir the pot. I just don't know which countries those are. I got to look at the list of what he said. I forgot what they were. We were at the PM high in the 4 hour 50, but she's so damn bullish. I don't know if I can trust to put. Well, this is why we're day trading. I'm short term trading here. I'm only looking for 30 cent or 20 cents. Looking for a 20-cent move, which I think I'm going to get. Maybe not. If I can't beat the 13 here, I might have to get out right here. Also, too, guys, if you guys don't know, check out the Schwab Network online, bro. The Schwab Network is nothing but stocks. They only talk about stocks. They don't talk about anything else. Uh, and they provide really, 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 really good facts and numbers. And they do example trades. And they do a bunch of technical analysis. They got master charters, um, example trades, paper trades, a bunch of stuff. So if you guys are looking to get any stock news, are looking for different stocks to get into, or looking at their watch list, they have a great watch list too as well. They got a FOMO segment breakdown. They do a lot of good stuff. So if you guys are ever in the market or watching the market or looking to get into something or just kind of get some overall news about the market in general, Schwab Network, bro, I'm telling you, on YouTube, they're live every day. That's all they talk. They just talk shop. They just talk stocks. Looks like this is reversing here. 13 is still strong. I thought I could come down and get this 50 test. Looks like I'm not going to get it. Looks like I'm about to take that L here again. I'm going to give it a couple. Actually, I got to go. I got to go. I got to go to work. Let's see if this plays out still. I'll give it a couple candles. Looks like she's still curling down. Got about 5 seconds here. Let's see if this candle stays under the 5. I've changed my mentality with calls and puts since joining the team. Now, if I see any profitability, 2, 3, 10%, whatever, I set my limit and stick to it instead of waiting on how high something can go, then end up losing. Yeah, that's a great way. I mean, that's how I do it when I'm doing my paper trading. I do limit orders. I mean, you see me do limit orders. You know, I do it in change, so you can see my average price right here, 30 cents. What I was looking for is I was looking for 50 cents. And you can see the last price it was at right here. So it refreshes. So right now, I'm about to close this bad boy out. I'm going to go for 155 here. Maybe I should change it to 150. I'm going back to 150. Yeah. And I could get more out of this, but I'm just playing it safe. Just playing it safe. So you saw me put my limit price right there, 150. Currently up 160. So this should get me out of the hole, I think, at 150. I was looking for the 50 test, and looks like that's what I'm getting. Hopefully. Hopefully. No guarantees, obviously. This 5 could bounce right here off the 13, and it could rip higher. Remember, it was bouncing earlier, so. Yeah, playing it safe and profits are profits, exactly. So you're playing calls off the 50. I'm getting out at the 50. But yeah, the 50 is a good indicator to just play calls or puts off of. I mean, you know, B, that's a great way. I love doing that myself personally. But yeah, Dash, dude, play it safe. Honestly, profit's profit. You know what they say, you can't go broke taking profit. All right, so it looks like I'm out. It looks like I'm only down about 90 for the day, but unfortunately, I got to go to work. So I got tagged out there, luckily, because it looks like it's kind of curling back. Still could end up coming down. Like at the 5 is creeping over here. Let's look at trading view here real quick. Yeah, this looks like she's heading down to the 50. Yep, there's that 13 bearish indicator right here. We could have a bigger wash. I could honestly, I could have stayed in it for a bigger win, but you know, like Dash is saying, profit's profit. What just happened? Oh, profit's profit. Not too worried about it, but boom. See, and my charts are different too on Webull and TradingView, obviously because it's Mo's Breadbot, and this isn't my stuff, but this is kind of how I have my setup for Webull. So it's different. When you see my TradingView chart, obviously you see we're at the 50 right here on my trading or my Webull one, and we haven't touched the 50 over here yet. So it is slightly different, but they both work for me. Remember, I'm using general areas of support or resistance. So, but remember too, guys, as well, when I made that chart over here on the 15-minute, let's just take a looky here. Looks like we came up on the Bollinger Band. 5 looks like it could possibly come back down. We haven't beat the 50 yet, but we have tested 1, 2, 3 times already. You know, the more times you test, the more likely it's going to break down or break out as bullish and bearish case. So Bollinger Band's real tight right here. Remember, be on the lookout for that gap below at 742.58, and then you still got that move in that gap up to like 749-ish area. So we're literally still stuck right here in the channel, but this is leading to a bullish case because we did have the 5 cross the 13 over here after the bounce off the 15. So again, we could come up here, right? Could come up here to come back down here. I'm going bearish case, obviously. I'm thinking we come down. I'm thinking we come down before we head up. Well, guys, that's pretty much all I got for you today. Like I said, if you guys are looking to join the lifetime membership, you'll get one of these awesome free plaques from me, custom made. I made these for you guys, for people who sign up with the lifetime membership. Also, too, as well, if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns about signing up before the lifetime membership, the third link in the description below is going to have book an appointment with me. And we can have a one-on-one. Here, I'll put that up in a little bit. We'll have a one-on-one conversation about what we provide, what we can do for you, and you know, any questions, comments, or concerns that you may have. And then as well, if you guys sign up using, it has to be my affiliate link, by the way, guys. If you guys use my affiliate link, you'll also get that 1 month with me, one-on-one time for about an hour for a month, once a week for a month. You'll get one-on-one time with me. We can go over charts, we can go over EMAs, we can do learning stuff, MACD, whatever you guys want. You know, I can give some of that information and help you guys make a better educated decision about stuff too as well, and kind of get you your feet off the ground and give you the tools that you need to be successful. So if you guys are looking to be successful and take advantage of the lifetime membership here today, guys, all right? And I think Code Freedom is ending soon, so if you guys are looking for that 40% off, remember, get that discount before it goes away. I know Mo does a little bit of when he does his marketing and stuff like that. You know, I'm pretty sure these discounts are going to end pretty soon. So if you guys missed out, you guys are missing out. So don't miss out and sign up for the lifetime membership. First link in the description. I also got the monthly down there below too as well. For the Earner Plus membership, you'll get the Breadbot, you'll get the extra live tradings with Mo on Wednesdays. You'll get those extra plays too as well on Wednesdays. He posts extra plays on top of his Monday plays for Earner Plus members in the Discord. So definitely check that out. And yo, if this video was helpful, if you found any of this information helpful, slap some of those emojis down there for me in the live stream experts panel, or, you know, hit that thumbs up too as well in my video. I appreciate it. It just lets me know that you found some of this information useful. So anyway, if you guys have any questions or want to talk about anything, you know where to find me in the Discord. You can find me in the chat. All right. So bleep bloop that in there, and I'll see you guys in the Discord. Thanks for stopping by.